Do you want to have a successful and confident retirement? I know you do, and I want that for you as well. Well, I have 8 habits from successful retirees that you need to apply to your financial situation. I've got that and more coming up. Was recently talking to a retiree, and I asked him, I said, are you happy? Or do you have that itch? I need to go back to work. He's been retired for about 9 months. And he said, no, Mike, I'm happy. I'm happy. And I said, okay, well, what's the secret? And he said, well, amongst everything and building a plan and knowing that I've, run the miles and we've done all the analysis and that financially it works. One of the things that really helped me, because he was a CEO, ran a company. He said, I was retiring to something. I had hobbies set up. I had activities that I was looking forward to. And therefore, on those slower days where, maybe I would miss the rush of work and the thrill of accomplishment and all that. He said, I'm not thinking about that at all. I don't miss those days. I love it. That is one of the hacks, retiring to something and not running away from something and retiring away from work, retire to certain activities. So if that's not on your list of habits or things that will help make your retirement successful, add that to the list already. But what are the things? What are the common habits that folks that have retired successfully, what are the common habits that they have in retirement to ensure that their retirement is successful? I've got 8 of them. First, successful retirees live below their means. That's right. You thought that was only important during your career. It is absolutely essential to have a successful retirement as well. There's no peace of mind. There's no peace in those golden years if you're living on sort of that razor's edge of your finances. There's 2 ways that you can live below your means in retirement. The first one is knowing that a safe withdrawal rate, let's say, is 4% of your portfolio and only drawing out 3 or 2.5. Drawing out less from your portfolio than your portfolio could actually withstand. That's one way of living below your means. And then the other is the more traditional way of, well, I've got these sorts of income, this amount of income coming in, and we're really only spending this amount, even though I could spend this. I've got this much landing in the checking account. I'm only spending this. This portion I would build up into a savings account, make sure that you're setting it aside for known upcoming expenses. Otherwise, maybe you should reduce how much you're withdrawing. But living below your means is one of the habits of successful retirees. Also, regularly reviewing your retirement plan. That's right, that 5-factor retirement plan, looking at those big choices and variables that are all interrelated to ensure that you had the green light to retire in the first place. Tuning into that and checking into it at least annually, at least once a year. We typically do so in the fall right about now. And that is, tuning in to say, all right, well, let's update it. Make sure, are you spending the right amounts? Are you spending what you expected to spend? Are all the variables, do they still match reality? Updating that 5-factor retirement plan so that it does match reality, and then confirming you're still on track. If you're not on track, you then know. You then can make adjustments, and you don't sort of have your head in the sand and go 3, 4, 5 years in the wrong direction before figuring out you need to course correct. Tuning in regularly to that retirement plan is another one of the habits. Third, maintaining multiple income streams, multiple sources of income. This used to be the 3-legged stool. You'd have Social Security, pension, and withdrawal from your investments. It's now the 2-legged stool. But having those timed at different parts of the month is one of the habits of successful retirees. If you get your Social Security maybe later in the month, maybe the 3rd or 4th Wednesday of the month, having a withdrawal from your investments hit the bank account in that, on the 1st or 2nd or 3rd early in the month so that it mimics a paycheck. You have multiple streams of income that land every couple of weeks into your bank account. That helps, and that is one of the habits as well. Fourth, having a tax-smart withdrawal strategy from your investments. Really doing tax planning, period, is one of the habits of successful retirees, but especially with your withdrawals, being tax efficient with your withdrawals. If you're withdrawing dollars from a joint account, individual account, or a trust account, something that's not a tax sheltered account, doing those withdrawals either from cash or from long-term cap gains or qualified dividends. Those are tax-efficient ways of doing it. But for the rest of us, withdrawing dollars from your IRA or from your retirement accounts, knowing how much you can draw from your IRA before you get into the next tax bracket, before it pushes you into IRMA, before it creates other complications with the senior deduction, or you lose out on some of those tax deductions and tax benefits, drawing an amount out of your IRA up until those limits, and then switching to another account or turning those off so that you don't have any of those tax penalties. Having a tax efficient or tax smart investment withdrawal strategy is absolutely one of the successful habits as well. Fifth, staying debt-free or keeping a manageable level of debt in retirement. This is also one of the habits. This is figuring out, well, how are you going to buy that next car? If you got into a mortgage before you retired, how do you get that mortgage paid down? This allows you, keeping that right level of debt or no debt at all, allows you to stay flexible with your cash flow. And going back to number one, making sure that you're spending below your means, having the right level of debt is a significant contributor to that. Sixth, I've talked about this one quite a bit as well, keeping an emergency fund even in retirement. This isn't just crucial during your working years, it's also important during your retirement years as well. It also provides peace of mind, like I mentioned, that living below your means does. So having that safety net gives you a reassurance and confidence during these golden years. But it also means that if something comes up financially, you don't have to reach into those tax sheltered accounts and potentially wreck a tax strategy. You've got resources there at your fingertips that aren't going to have any tax consequences to it. So having an emergency fund, yes, gives you peace of mind, but it also helps with that tax efficient strategy, investment withdrawal strategy as well. Staying invested in stocks. That's the seventh. Many people view retirement as, well, I no longer have a long time horizon. I've got to take all of my dollars and move them to low risk. When in reality, if you've got 20 years left in your life expectancy, 25 years, 30 years, you can take your investment portfolio and tip it on its side. And yes, some of that money is short term, some of that's intermediate term, but a large amount of your dollars you're not going to touch for 10 plus years. That means a lot of dollars still are long term and should be invested for the long term as well. Not a significant amount, should be appropriate for your risk tolerance, your financial plan, but still owning some stocks, absolutely a habit of successful retirees. And then finally, this is connected to a few of the other habits as well, but continuing to budget and having a budget for hobbies and vacations and fun. That's what retirement is all about. And hopefully you've been planning ahead financially so that when you get to those golden years, you can enjoy your resources and enjoy that time, but setting money aside for those known upcoming expenses. This is our 3-bank account system. The 3-bank account system, that's your cash flow operating system. That's significantly important during your career, but you've got to be working the same system in retirement. This is where knowing that you've got, that you're living below your means, right? That's that first bank account, your immediate spending. Here's how much money's coming in. Here's how much we're spending every single month. That emergency fund I mentioned, that's bank account number 3. That's critically important in retirement. Sandwiched in between is known upcoming expenses, trips, hobbies, fun, having that baked into your financial operating system, your cash flow, so that you're setting money aside even in retirement, again, gives you peace of mind, gives you that freedom to do those things that you really want to do to enrich your retirement. So those are 8 habits of successful retirees. They're not going to happen by accident. Plan ahead for a confident and successful retirement. Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can get started by downloading our guide, our 5-factor retirement guide. Go to wisemoneyguides.com or reach out to us for help. You can find us Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.